All right, so for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Klein Tools 10-piece grab-and-go impact socket set. You know, at the time of filming this video, this is a relatively newer release from Klein, and all of the sockets you see here are going to be from 1/4 inch all the way up to 3/4. I don't think they currently offer a metric version of this socket set. I believe it's only in SAE right now, and they do offer two different variations that you can get. You can get a 7-piece set, or you can get the 10-piece set here. Now, the model number for this 10-piece set is 33809, and if you're looking for the model number for the 7-piece set, it is going to be 33808. That's going to be your 7-piece set, and the 809 is going to be your 10-piece set. So to start off the video here, this guy does come with a carabiner. I just have it kind of off and sitting off to the side of the video. It does come with a carabiner that you clip into this little slot here. And that is going to allow you to clip this onto a bag and have it hang off the side of your tool bag if that's how you prefer to transport this. Or if you don't want it on the outside of your bag and you would like to have it on the inside, you can easily take the carabiner off so it's not getting in the way of anything. Now here is your socket holder here. Now this guy is some sort of a rubberized holder for the sockets, which seems to be fairly nice and fairly strong. And like I said, this is your 10-piece set, so you're going to have from 1/4 inch all the way up to 3/4, which is nice. And the good thing about each one of these sockets in here is they are all color-coded, so you're going to be able to identify which is which. Now, one thing to note about the color coding on these is 1/4 inch and your 1/2 inch do share the same color red, but there's quite the difference in size there, so you shouldn't have to get those mistaken. Now, another nice thing about this socket holder is the top of it is labeled, so if you're looking for a specific size socket, you're going to be able to easily pick it out, whereas some of the, I would say like the compact or the small socket sets that you can buy from the different brands out there that have some socket holders. I'm mainly thinking of the Makita ones, where they have a bunch of different size sockets on them, but none of them you can really easily read the size on them, where these you can easily read the size on them. And you also have a 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter here, and to get that guy out, you pretty much just push down on the adapter, and it raises the back of it up, and you are able to pull that adapter out. So there is the adapter itself. So we'll go ahead and set that off to the side, and we'll go ahead and start breaking some of these sockets free out of here. So like I said, you're going to get from 1/4 inch all the way up to 3/4, so you're going to get 1/4, 5/16, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 7/16, 9/16, 3/4, and 11/16, and I think I forgot to say 5/8 as well. So that's all the different sizes there. You can kind of see right here all your different color coordinating for all the different sockets on this side. And you also have the Klein Tools name that is laser etched onto the surface of the socket as well. And then if you come over to this side, you can see, again, you have some nice color coordinating going on this side with those sockets as well. And like I said, your 1/4 and your 1/2 are pretty much the only two that share the same color, but again, it's going to be kind of hard to confuse those two because there is quite the difference in size. So we'll go ahead and pull out this 1/2 inch socket. And the nice thing about this socket holder is it does hold these in quite tight, so you don't really have to worry about them popping out or becoming loose very easily. Now here are your sockets. So you're going to have the indentation, and it is filled in with paint, which is nice, so you can easily identify which is which. I'm not a big fan of when you get sockets that are just laser etched on there, because if you use it enough, the laser etching will eventually start to wear off, and it makes it kind of hard to identify it, and you just can't see it as well. And then you have that red line around to identify what socket this is. And these are 6-point sockets, and I guess you could kind of classify them as maybe like a shallow or a semi-deep socket. It's not going to be a super deep socket. So that's a 1/2 inch, and just clips right back into place. And like I said, these are somewhat hard to pull out, so that you don't really have to worry about them falling out. And then your socket adapter just kind of clips into there, and you just put this into your impact driver, and you're pretty much ready to go. That's pretty much it for this kit. It's definitely nice to see that Klein came out with something like this, especially doing heating and cooling and electrical. You're gonna at least for heating and cooling, the most used size sockets for us is 3/8, 7/16, ½ inch, and 9/16. Now I have a pretty large socket set that rides around in my van from Milwaukee, and it's kind of a pain every time you need to get one of the sockets out of there. Just to use it a couple times or to use it all day. It's just a pain to bust out the whole socket set, and then you got to make sure you put that socket back. So that's kind of why I decided to go ahead and pick this set up from Klein, so I could just clip it on the side of my installing bag, and have pretty much all the most common size sockets that I'm going to need for all the fasteners that I use. Most of the time, you either tighten in beam clamps, and beam clamps generally rock a 7/16. There are some that will rock a I believe it's a 3/8. Those are for like the bridle rings and things like that. But most of the time, you're using a 7/16 for beam clamps, for hanging ductwork and things like that. And then you use your 9/16 a lot for tightening down some hardware. And then you also use a ½ inch a lot for driving concrete anchors, whether it's the Sammy's or I believe DeWalt has. We use some of the DeWalt ones too, that also use a ½ inch socket to drive it into the concrete after you drilled the hole. So that's kind of why I decided to go with this. I'm still going to probably heat my Milwaukee set because it's a full set, and you never know. Sometimes you're going to need a deep socket versus like a shallow or a semi-deep socket. So I'll keep that, but now I don't have to go in my van and hunt around for it and dig that set out. And I can just clip this on the side of my tool bag and call it a day. So that's pretty much it for the review on this set. Like I said, this is the 10-piece set. If you don't really necessarily need all of the 10 pieces in the set, and you want something a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit more compact and not as bulky to carry around on the side of your bag, Klein also does offer a 7-piece set that you can go ahead and pick up. Now, I was able to find this at my local Lowe's. At the time of filming the video, it wasn't really out on the floor. I did have to find an associate there to take it down from the, I guess you'd call it like their top stock or whatever. It was listed in their system, but for some reason my local store just didn't have it out on the floor yet. That is where I picked this guy up. But if you are looking to pick this up and you don't have a Lowe's close to you, or maybe you don't like to go to Lowe's and you want to find somebody else, I will leave some links down in the description below where you can pick this set up and have it shipped to your front door. And there will also be a link down to the web page for more information about this set as well. So with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching.